Hey everyone, Mike Burkholder, publisher of East County Today. I want to provide you some tips and tricks of how to get better exposure for your event and kind of what goes into being a successful event promoter, because I see it all the time. Events are published and then it seems like the day after the event, oh, I wish I would have known about it. Oh, I wish I would have seen it. And that kind of comes down to, and I'm going to be very nice about this, but people believing that Facebook is the end-all solution to event marketing. They'll publish a post, throw out a graphic, and it's kind of that if you build it, they will come mentality, and that is absolutely not true. Promoting a successful event is a full-time job. It's not, it's not as easy as what's the event location? What is the event time? What is the entertainment? What is the value? It's a full-blown plan that should be created. And it starts with your budget. How much do you have for advertising? Where do you want to advertise at? What is your target market? Those are some very basic, bare-bone questions that should be step one. And once you have the who, what, when, where, why, then it becomes, okay, how do we promote the event? So number one, if you are the event coordinator and the promoter of the event, let me just say that it's a full-time job, and so be prepared to put in the work. There's a lot of steps, a lot of tidbits that you need to get into, and we'll just start with Facebook because that's the easiest, most convenient, and quite frankly, it's got the most attention on it. And so you have an event, and some people, actually, believe it or not, will just do a Facebook post, and that's it. The reality is you need to set up an event page for your event. And the reason for that is because it's something that people could keep coming back to. It's not going to get lost in a news feed. It's basically a centralized location on Facebook that you can update, every day, which is what I would do, or every 2 or 3 days. If you're going longer than 2 or 3 days, forget it. You need to have a plan. But, with Facebook, you got to realize not everybody is on Facebook. A lot of people have left. It's not what it was 2 years ago. Many people are leaving social media for a variety of reasons, including privacy. They don't like a lot of the nonsense comments, posts. So you have to remember that your job as a coordinator of an event and to promote it is to get as many eyeballs as possible. So while Facebook's a magnificent tool, it's actually just the start of your job. So once you have your Facebook page down, the next thing you need to do is create a press release. And I know a press release sounds old-fashioned and it sounds dull, boring, tired. I get all that. But the reality is a press release is one of the most underutilized tools out there. I am astonished by how many events fail to send a simple announcement, a simple, who, what, when, where, and most importantly, why. I am stunned that people in my area will simply put an event in my calendar with one line. I mean, just take 30, 40 minutes and answer the why should people go to your event. But what I want to emphasize in the press release is who are you sending it to? Which publications? What is your radius? And what I mean by radius is how big of, circle around your event do you want to go, do you want to hit? For example, if your event is in Concord, what you should do is anything 60 miles and within, target that media. If you're in Antioch, 60 miles, target that media. There are so many times where only one publication will get the press release. You're only limited to that audience. So in your planning stages of the actual event, you need to have a media plan. Start with the 5 closest media companies. Make sure that's in the press release plan. Get their contact, send it off. But to be safe, honestly, get 15 to 20, even 30, and just send the press release. And here's the trick. They may not see it the first time. So 2 months before your event, announce it. A month before the event, announce it. You could also have updates to your event. Let's say you have a big event that's thousands of people, right? And you announce the event, save the date. A month before the event, and your ticket sales are a little stale. Here's the entertainment for the event. Here's the lineup. Here's the outline. Here's the plan. So some companies will publish it, and it's free advertising for you. The other thing is take advantage of local news media calendars. I get it. Facebook, Eventbrite, awesome. But a lot of news media have event calendars that are free. And let's say that they're not free. Let's say they're $5, $10, $15, whatever. That's one ticket in most cases. You wouldn't trade one ticket for exposure that maybe sells you 5 tickets, 10 tickets, 50, 100. You never know. It's worth the investment. Take advantage of local calendars. Next, I want to talk about ticket sales because I think that this is often overlooked because a lot of people believe, hey, pay me $20, here's your ticket. Here's, my ticket's $10, here you go. And we're not in that kind of world anymore. We are an online-driven world, and people want to get tickets as easy as possible. They're not going to meet you somewhere. They're not going to just, drive somewhere to buy tickets at a venue anymore. I mean, some will, but most won't. But if you have a Facebook page, it is not that hard to put a ticket purchase link. Even if you have an Eventbrite page, have a place where they could buy a ticket. If you have a website or a nonprofit or an event website, have a link that's very easily able to allow people to buy the ticket. It's the easiest thing in the world to set up a ticket purchase system. There's apps, there's widgets, it's low cost, high reward. So I would really suggest you guys figuring out how to use the links, because the easier it is, the more tickets you're going to sell. Along with the ticket sales, what's beautiful about these links is it lets you build an email list. And one of the biggest mistakes I ever made with East County Today was I never created an email list early. And it's really caused me to miss out on a lot of things that would have made my life much easier today. But for those events that are really marketed well and successful and could sell out 500 tickets, basically without even trying, they're the ones that actually have an email list that could keep people up to date on upcoming events, updated event information, schedules. They get people excited because you could build hype and you could let people know, and it's communication. And so really think about the other benefit of creating these online ticket links is that they allow you to create an email list and build those contacts for not only this year, but the future. Another important asset in solid event promotion is good graphics. Too many times there's flyers online or going around that are really just print heavy. There's clip art, and quite frankly, in 2019, that just doesn't get the job done. Honestly, there's so many online, photo galleries that you could buy an image for $10. Spend the $10. Get a picture of that crab feed. Get a picture of people smiling, or hire a photographer or a video company to come do some promotional material ahead of the event. People want to have visual representation of what the event be. If it's a food event, they're going to want to see food. They're going to want to see who the vendors are. If it's musicians, they're going to want to see pictures of the musicians. They're going to want to have maybe a little sound of the musician. What I did with a recent event that I promoted is we actually brought in, community stakeholders, and we shot 6 promotional videos saying, hey, come to the event, buy your ticket. Use community stakeholders in those graphics. Use them in the videos. When you have a well-known person inviting you to the event, that gives you some credibility. And I think oftentimes people rely too much on basic graphics. And the beauty of good graphics is it actually allows you to have good print handouts. And yes, I am an advocate of print handouts, leave-behinds, because they still work. Does print advertising work? Maybe not as well as it used to, but there's still some value in it. So while there's still value in print and handouts and all that good stuff, the reality is with good graphics, it actually makes your job to sell the event much easier. And what I mean by that is a lot of times people focus on the, hey, buy tickets message. And this comes into kind of a messaging problem that I see from a lot of events. It's always buy the tickets. But the reality is you need to flip that message. And you got to do it very strategically by selling the experience, by selling a good time, by selling that there's good music, there's good food. You kind of flip the message to be everything about that you basically flip the message to everything about not buying a ticket at that specific time. You want people to see the value, so where the ticket price is actually seems like a good value. Or if it's an event that, is a fundraiser, hey, buy this ticket because it's going to support, this nonprofit organization or old people or a sports team, whatever it may be. But the reality is, to really sell an event, it's all about connecting that person with the experience they're going to have. Think about it. Why do you go into an event? Is it food? Wine? Is it to have a good time? Do you want to see your friends? I mean, maybe it's a night out with your friends and it's just away from the kids, and maybe that's just one reason to go. So you really gotta message the selling of the event properly, and I mean that with all sincerity, because a lot of people just miss the message. It's not about how much, give me money for a ticket. It's about why should people attend. So ultimately, when you are selling an event, it's always about the why. Why should somebody attend? Why should someone care? Why should someone invest their time and their money in your event? It's your job as a marketing coordinator or promoter of an event to showcase the why. And I keep saying the why because as in anything, why should it matter? And a lot of times people forget the why. And in closing, I just want to say being an event marketer absolutely sucks. It's not a fun job, but someone's got to do it. And the reality is the events change, details change. It could be the location, it could be the schedule of music, vendors could cancel, there could be a rain out. So that's why I say it's a full-time job, because the data and the information typically will change. And that's why you need somebody that is tracking where you're posting the event, who you're sending press releases to, and really just keep people up to date on social media. I will say the other issue is expectations. A lot of people measure an event success differently. Is it about raising awareness and you hope to break even? Is it about making money? Is it about selling the most tickets? Everybody has a different level of expectations of what success is. Me personally, I've had events that I thought were fantastic, had a lot of people, they made money, but for whatever reason, the person thought the event stunk. People had good time, but their expectations were different than mine. Whereas I've had events that I thought, we did okay, and, maybe the execution of the event person and organization putting on the event kind of stunk, and they thought it was amazing and great, and they made all this money, and, it is what it is. So, everything just is different. But it will tell you that if you do, promote an event correctly, people do go and attend, which is where events that I do, and promote, they really do get people to go because they're promoted correctly and in different ways. The one thing that I didn't really get into was SEO and targeted marketing and all that stuff, because I wanted this video to be very basic. I want it to be a video that doesn't cost you a lot of money to figure out how to promote an event. It's just little tips and tricks that I see as a publisher of a news organization that will help you get instant results and not break the bank. I want it to be very basic, down to earth. So I hope some of these tips help you. I also will say that I'm curious on what you found to be successful in promoting your own events. So if you have any tips and tricks or successes that you think that I left out, I would love to hear it in the comments, because, I just think it comes down to using as many people as possible to get as many eyeballs on your event. And again, don't be romantic with only one media company. Send it to everybody you can within 60 miles of an event. That is so key. Fill out those free event calendars. Keep your Facebook page up to date. It's really about communication. It's not one of those post it 2 months early and then forget about it. People will not see it if it's only on Facebook. So again, it's a full-time job. Be prepared to do the work. It's not easy. So in closing, I hope you found this video valuable, and I look forward to doing many more like this with other tips and tricks that I have learned over the years, and I will catch you next time. Take care. Bye.